Okay, have a good day. Anyhow. Alright, so welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Type of Experience. Now let's talk about what just happened. See the hand signals? Right? Let's talk about what just happened with the dude, right? So again, sending me subliminal message, coercive threats. And that's what that was about. Right? And they've done this from you falling your lips for. She falling her lips. Anyhow, so these are coercive threats in which they will engage in, And when I talk about how sticking his stinky finger in his ears, right? And when I talk about the things that they do, right, and how they do it, I'm talking about things like that, right? In the New York Predator Department, in this instance, I'm gonna call them the New York Pussy Department. When they're too cowards, when they know that they've engaged in crimes, right, to violate my rights, and as well as the rights of the people around me, including family members and so forth, they will try to get away with it, right? And like I tell them, my purpose is greater than theirs. I got the greatest purpose ever, which is to expose these corrupt bastards, right? The greatest purpose ever was to expose their lies, their manipulation, their destruction. So their purpose can never be greater than mine, because mine is about truth. Theirs is about lies, deception, manipulation. When these religious fanatics talk about the devil and this and that, they're the devils. They're the manipulators. They're the deceivers. They're the liars, because they have to engage in those things: lying, making false accusations. Everything that the Bible talks about, the so-called 10 Commandments that you should not do, this is what they do. Right? This is what they do. Again, you got to look at their actions, not their words. That's why they always tell you growing up, but the devil will tell you things that's not true, right? While they're telling you things that's not true. The devil is a liar while they're lying to you. The devil's a manipulator while they're manipulating. The devil's a deceiver while they're deceiving. Like I said, they don't really even understand the shit that comes out of their mouth because of their belief system. Because their belief system makes them what? Liars, right? So when we talk about liars and who they are, when we talk about deceivers and who they are, when we talk about manipulators and who they are, from this thing, all right, coercive persuasion program, they can never speak the truth, because the liars is built into them when they start being indoctrinated with religion, right? Instead of giving young people knowledge, we give them religion, right? This is why they lie, they manipulate, they cheat, they steal, they commit all the things that in the Bible it says that you should not do. I mean, just look at the reality of it, right? Just look at the reality of it. So-called believers or Christians do all the things in the Bible that they claim that God gave the commandments that they're not to do. So why do they do it? I was watching an interesting debate about Hebrew Israelites and Christians, right? You got these two Hispanic dudes, and they're making all the excuses for the genocide of their people by white Europeans who brought them Christianity. Same thing with Africans. They'll make all the excuses for these white genocidal maniacs who almost genocide their people, who enslaved their ancestors, our people, and they make all the excuses because of this white Jesus. Now, what does that tell you about religious indoctrination? Right? What does that tell you? And they did it in the name of their God. They did it in the name of their religion. Right? They were authorized by the what do you call, the visa, right, of so-called Christ, which is the Pope. Right?
I'm just gonna be.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But I want you guys to understand the mindset, the white supremacist mindset that is conditioned within our people. Right? And other group that they own businesses, they are wealthy, they're prospering, right? Have not only used religion themselves to prosper, to lie, to manipulate, to cheat, right? To cheat and all that stuff, right? But they will also use it to prevent you from doing what they do, to enrich yourself, right? You know what I'm saying? So there you go. And I'm not, listen, I'm not saying that you should do what they do. But what I'm saying is that they're using those methods on you and us. You know, look at the, you know, this Trump administration. They are enriching themselves. And Republicans are quiet about it. But when the Democrat is in office, right, and if a Democrat engages in such behavior, you know, they're making a big deal about it, right? They're you know, on the talk shows and talking about this, but they're doing the same thing. And one of the things that's very interesting, right, when it comes to politics and when it comes to a certain political ideology, right? So again, I'm going to show you the correlation between Europeans and their mindset on the white supremacy and Republicans, particularly the extreme right, and their mindset when it comes to their political ideology. So they say Republicans are about small government, but they have never been a Republican as president that is about small business. Matter of fact, when you have Republican, you have an expansion of government. An expansion of government to do what? To benefit the wealthy. Yeah, fuck you too. When she walked by, she folded the dollar bill and stuck her, you know, she stuck her finger out like this. So yeah, they have always been an expansion within government, right, for big business, for the wealthy. Now, Democrats, the reason why Republicans say Democrats is all about big government is because Democrats more engage in more social policies, right? More social policies. So it's and in terms of also big business. See, the Republicans is all about big business and not social policies. If they're doing enacting social policies, is because of their religious ideology, right? Democrats all about big business also, but when they engage in social policies, it's social policies that is for not solely based on the religious ideology, but based on the needs of certain classes of people, right? Whereas Republican, they're all about their religious ideology and big business. So there's a difference, right? So you can, like I said, you can believe what you want to believe. You can believe what they tell you to believe, but the reality is that they don't believe it. And the reality is that the majority of the people who call themselves Democrats and Republicans, you know, they are all conditioned into a certain belief set, right? Look at this, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. I can't make out the letters, but it's a white BMW, right? 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. That's the number. What is it? B N or M, something like that. B K. Look like I don't even know. But anyhow, you got to start looking at the reality. Like I said, knowledge is power. Knowledge is truth. Right? Not belief system. Belief system is not true. I keep telling you, be lie. Believe. Right? Be a liar. When you have belief, you're going to be a liar. Right? Because anything that you believe is only going to be in your mind. There is no empirical, factual evidence, whether it be, yeah, my brother, come over here, point at me. Look, pointing his ass back. Turn the back away. Look, why? Because look, the New York Predator Department coming swing by, walks over to me and he's pointing. Yeah, don't try to do that shit now. Like, you're not using his middle finger. Yeah, fuck you, Andy. New York Predator Department, 67 precinct. All right, 4131. Right? Yeah. Anyhow. Oh yeah. So be liars. When you're a believer, you're going to be a liar. And when you give your children belief, your children's going to lie. right? When you start to become self-aware, and you start to understand the system, when you start to understand the elites and how they lie, because these are the leadership within this society. Yeah, fuck out of here. Look. They turn on the siren. Look, you look. Right? Again, black with the red and silver. You know what I'm saying? Don't I call it? Was I saying this earlier? Was it last week? I think I was talking about this. How they were using the combination. There you go. See it again. But when you teach your children a belief system, okay, it's the reason why we as black people, our children is always going to be at the bottom. That is why when we were children, we were at the bottom. Because there are people who use the belief system to lie to us, and we turn around and we lie to each other. They use it to manipulate us, and we turn around and manipulate each other. Like I said, Christianity, you can go check the history book, the record book. Right? Christianity was never brought, any religion I would say, was never brought to the people in peace, despite its claim of being peaceful. Never happened. Right? And that truth is what believers don't want to believe. Right? But they believe everything else. Even though there's empirical evidence, empirical fact, that religion was never brought to any people through peace. Slow down. Slow down. 15357. Hey there.
Man, what the fuck you doing fucking open the dog, bro? You heard me? You should be to open the dog, bro.
Tell you, yeah, we gotta sell some shit, right? You tell you every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll show you guys. They will send some nigga peeing on the bus, or a few of them, to create chaos. Right? That's the hallmark of a destructive cult. That's the hallmark of destructive cults and destructive cult leaders. That's why I document and show you guys exactly what it is that they do. How they do it. Oh, now you're closing your door. Just open the door. And just to close it. Alright, so color is going to be red going forward. Alright, and I see a combination of red, black, and silver also there. Okay, keep an open eye. Look at that today, right? Got 2 express buses. sticking his finger in his ears. Right, subliminal messages. I gotta get you for it. Now you gonna sit?
Next stop, Church Avenue in New York Avenue. Transfer available. Please exit opposite.
when you're 8, you can go up to 16.
Walking against the wall.
Yeah, so they allow you to do 16. Between that, you gotta get at least $8, right? Same thing with us.
You have to go 2 fucking foot forward. You have to go 2 foot forward. You bitch ass nigga. Promise.
Please exit through the rear door.
See that? Worry about that.
Next stop, Church Avenue and Western Avenue. Transfer available to 2 and 5 trains. 35 minutes. 44 at B44 SPS.
That's it. Not the neighbor, not what's the neighbor. You're up here by yourself, doing your thing. But I feel myself, I'm sitting up in this. Once you get in, you gotta be proud of it.
This stop is Church Avenue and Western Avenue.
Those guys are 18 wheels. Oh, yeah. Hey, you forgot about it. They keep calling me. Let me go and see what it is. Great. This is, yeah, so that's going up and out. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It can't be a funny thing. You got yeah, some days you do make a lot of money, some days you don't. You know, it's rough out. I used to go state to state. Right, it's okay. Yeah, on the road. There's some days good, some days bad. And the weather, crazy. Other stuff that comes.
So let me tell you, yeah, so funny. Dude got a measuring tape. What are you looking at, bro? He tell you that some of these clowns, so he got a measuring tape. Alright? I talk about how they use the guys with dreads.
Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Rogers Avenue. Transfers available to B44 SBS and B49.
That's so funny. I'm explaining to you guys exactly what it is that we do.
Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Bedford Avenue. Transfer available to before yard.
Yeah, but it's probably to the side.
This stop is Church Avenue and Bedford Avenue.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. All right, welcome. So, let me explain to you guys what they're trying to do. So, the guy with the dread that came on the bus, like I tell you, there are always going to be days when they're going to send clowns, right, to target me. And this, you know, they do very different messages from time to time, right? The shit that they put into my mind. Which again, today was the use of, again, the color, right? Red, black, and gray or silver. Then the guy with the dress theme. Then the guy standing at the bus stop with a measuring tape. You know, measuring. I don't know what he wasn't measuring nothing. He was just standing at the bus stop with a measuring tape extended out, right? And then the guy with the dread, the one that came in on the bus, and you know, as he's leaving, he comes up to the front and he grabs underneath my elbow and he's like, pardon me, you know, that sort of thing, right? Again, how they do these things and what it is that they do, right? So why he grabbed the bottom of my elbow? Talk about whenever they would stick their elbows out, I would say, in my elevate, right? And so whenever they do that, I'll say, it's the elbows are, I go elevate, elevate. I stick my finger and I go elevate, elevate, or level up, right? So again, this is about trying to bring you down, right? To get you to believe in something and then try to build you back up with a false identity, with this false, renewed mind, you know, in a first persuasion program, in thought reform, control, psychological manipulation, psychological programming, brainwashing. That is the concept. But what they're not telling you, right, again, is that those things are not meant to help you, but it is meant to harm you. It is meant to put you under the control of the perpetrators who create and develop these programs, cult leaders, you know, government agencies or have you, such as the CIA, FBI, Predator Police Department across America. It is to change you into something that you are not. Right? When I talk about black people in America, Caribbean, across the globe, how we are stripped of our identity and then we're built back up into something that is detrimental for us. Our psyche, our psychology, our behavior is detrimental. Right? There's a reason why we are such a divided people. There's a reason why we have no insight, and so we have no foresight. And we cannot plan the future because the people who are in power, who are in control, are the ones that plan the future, right?
Yeah.
And so we have yet to understand it. And when any one of us speaks the truth, right, when any one of us can see or begin to see the attack, to see the manipulation and speak out on it, they will attack us in many different ways. Okay, so the concept of the rule of the guy with the dreads, I talk about how, you know, the white supremacists, they got penis envy when it comes to black men, right? It's the penis envy, right? You're thinking that, you know, again, using Pam, because they all try to use Pam as I explained that. You shake your head at me, buddy. Right? As they try to use Pam to emotionally manipulate me, which they have in the past, they no longer can do it. So it's the same theme over and over again. Try to create this jealousy, try to create, you know, these things. And listen, in any form of relationship, when you love somebody, the relationship ends, there is that jealousy that's there. But it's an emotion that you're going to go through. And it's an emotion that you're going to go get over, right? Now, what they do, particularly being a TI, is to try to constantly have you under their emotional control, right? And using your emotions and your love or your care for someone, right? So, don't fall for it. Okay, understand what it is that they do. Here in your present pop music and something in the background. Yeah, don't fall for it. Right? Do not fall for it. And then also threatening my daughter. Right? Again, I want you to understand the mindset of these people. And the fact that Negropeans would engage in this destructive mindset, it shows you how much control they have over our psyche, particularly subconsciously, and we don't quite understand it. But anyhow, listen, like I said, what they do to us as TIs is going to come back to them. Okay? What is done to us as TIs, it will come back to them. Like I said, and not because of karma, but because of good people who understand what it is that they're doing and are going to give them a taste of their own medicine. All right? Negropeans also. All right? So, in the Kemetic spiritual system, Ma'at, truth, justice. I don't like to use the word righteousness, but truth and justice. You know, they're going to get their karma, as they say. Like I said, so I don't have to believe anything. I know, right? I know, and that's all. That's what I say. They can listen. I am not afraid of my brothers. Okay. Why would I be? They are a reflection of me. Right? I am a reflection of them. All right. Now, whether they are a good reflection or a bad reflection, that's you as an individual to look and see and to decide what sort of reflection of each other that you're going to be, including yourself, or a reflection of yourself and who you truly are. But you never know who you truly are when you accept religious dogma and doctrine that is based on lies, that is based on a total fabricated lie from what your ancestors used to practice, right? Because our ancestors did not believe in religion. Early Christianity and early Christians did not believe in religion. Religion is a Roman invention. Okay? Understand that. Religion is Religion is a Roman invention. So our ancestors, early Christianity, did not believe in religion. They gave you religion because what? Because they want to bind your mind. Okay, because the word religion, all right, comes from, again, the Roman Greek belief system, all right, not from your ancient African ancestors. All right, so yeah, exposing what it is that they do, the assassination threat, and once I expose that, now they're trying to use the threat of using the black guys. Again, like I said, it shows you how much our people are controlled. That how much our people don't want what's best for each other. That how much the toxic mindset is conditioned in our minds, right? And that when you are about truth, that they will attack you for being about truth, right? Anytime you attack the truth, it's because you're trying to protect your lie. Every time you attack the truth, it's because they're trying to protect their manipulation, their deception, their lies. All right? And the truth will be revealed. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.